Hi, Instagram. Welcome to this conversation on how to show up more authentically online. First of all, in honor of authenticity, I do want to acknowledge this energy that's going on with the eclipse and the new moon. I'm not sure if you feel it, but I've been feeling like I'm going to vibrate and explode out of my skin. It's like lots of awakening, lots of shifting happening. So if you're feeling this too, you are not alone. And it's okay. It's okay to feel like that sometimes. So I wanted to jump on and speak about this, how to show up more authentically online. I just got done filming a podcast episode actually with a friend of mine, Lonnie Mitchell, and this was the subject, the conversation that we had. I also had a client session yesterday where we were discussing, showing up more audaciously and authentically online and why that's important and how you can do that more. So I think it's really important as spirit-led business owners for you to show up online authentically, because your message, the work that you do, is intimately related to your unique, authentic, vulnerable expression. And showing up online, speaking your truth, it is vulnerable and it does take practice. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a few ways that you can practice being more authentic, that you can bring into your life and then bring that into your business, because authenticity is really what is going to help you grow your business, attract your soulmate clients, and step into this best version of yourself. So the first thing when it comes to being authentic is for you to be honest with yourself. So for you to be honest with yourself about how you're feeling. I feel like our society, we're so conditioned to people please, to, fake it till we make it almost, and show up regardless of how we're feeling. And we're not actually taught how to honor what we're actually feeling. So in my own life, my own personal experience with this really started about 6 years ago when I first got sober. So back then, I really struggled with substance abuse, and I really struggled with drinking. And the reason why it was such a problem for me was because I was deeply rejecting and not acknowledging how I was feeling inside. At the time, I was experiencing major anxiety, a lot of shame around the anxiety, feeling like I should not be feeling this anxious. I should know better. I had already studied so much personal development. I had already done so much work on myself. I should know better, right? I had all these stories about why I should be feeling less anxious. And I didn't want to tell anyone. I didn't want to share with anyone what I was really feeling inside. I started lying to myself. I lied to myself for years about how I was feeling. And the only way that I could stand being around other people was to drink, because I wasn't able to be honest with myself. So 6 years ago, I actually had a rude awakening, and I got arrested. And, I share it pretty openly and honestly about this because it was one of those moments in my journey where I realized, I created this, and there's something going on where I'm not in alignment with my highest self. So I had to start getting honest with myself about the wreckage that alcohol was causing in my life, the anxiety that I was feeling deep within myself, and why I was literally numbing out through this substance, because I was not being authentic. I was not being honest with myself for a long time. So that was a huge step in learning how to be more authentic, was admitting to myself, being honest with myself, that this is a problem. I'm actually experiencing major anxiety at the time, right? Like this was 6 years ago. To admit to myself, I'm actually experiencing major anxiety. I'm actually really struggling, and I don't know how to get out of this. So the first step to being authentic is for you to be deeply honest with yourself about what you're feeling, about what you're experiencing, about what you're going through. You don't need to admit it to other people right away. I'm going to get into that. But the first step is for you to be deeply honest with yourself. If you cannot be honest with yourself about how you're feeling, how do you expect to be honest with other people? How do you expect to be honest in your business in the way that you show up online? I love, John says, hey, Sophia, you're killing it at life. God bless. Tyler says, yes, sister. I can 100% relate. Being alcohol-free was one of the best decisions I made. Yes, I love that. So knowing how to be honest with yourself, right? And sometimes it's scary to be honest with ourselves, because sometimes being honest with yourself involves you admitting that maybe you don't know the answer, or maybe you don't know what you're feeling, or maybe you don't know what's actually going on. And we're so trained, like we need to have all the answers, we need to know. Can you be okay not knowing, right? And this is where I believe our faith comes in. When you have faith in benevolent divine intelligence, it's benevolent, it's loving, it's good, it wants you to thrive and succeed. When you believe in this, then you become more okay with not knowing, because you believe and you trust that the answers will be provided for you. And the first step is for you to admit and be honest with yourself about where you're at, what you're feeling. And that can look like, I'm out of alignment. I'm not actually living in alignment with my highest self. I don't know how to do that. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm experiencing. So admitting to yourself, being honest with yourself, and then being open and willing to receive guidance from the universe, from divine infinite intelligence, right? It's scary, but you're not alone. You're not alone in this. There is a loving, benevolent, divine force that literally touches every aspect of our existence, every aspect of your existence. You are connected. You cannot sever this connection ever with divine intelligence. It is always there. And the most important thing for you to do is to be honest and to be open. And that's when you can start to receive it. And that's when you can start to receive the support and the guidance that you need. So when it comes to being authentic with yourself, you need to be honest with yourself. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, how do you expect to be honest in the way that you show up? And then being open to the guidance, being open to receive, being open to answers and solutions, being provided to you in divine time. Really trusting this. If you don't trust this, then it's looking at your spiritual beliefs. Where are you trusting? Where are you not trusting? And getting clear on that. This is why in the work that I do as a spiritual business coach, we look a lot at your spiritual beliefs, right? Because it is intimately connected with the way that you show up, with the way that you're presenting yourself into the world, what you believe to be true, where you're relying on divine intelligence, and where you're not. And the first step in that, again, is being honest with yourself. So the second thing that is important for you to cultivate more authenticity in your business and in your life is for you to practice being vulnerable and authentic. I'm not suggesting you go online and you speak your truth online, although you can. But usually what it looks like in the early stages of building this muscle of authenticity, of vulnerable expression, usually I suggest you find a safe place for you to express yourself. You find a trusted person, either like a therapist or a coach or a mentor. This is why working with other people is so powerful, because a lot of times what happens when we're not living authentically, a lot of times what I find happen is we create a shame story. So we have a story, I shouldn't be feeling like this. I can't admit this to anyone. I can't actually tell people how I'm really feeling, because what will they think of me? Will they still love me and accept me? Will they reject me if they know the truth? Right? We all go through this. I've gone through this. It's like this fear of being able to speak our truth. This fear of, will we be loved and accepted if we're to show who we really are to the world? So you find a safe place where you can express this with someone else, a therapist, a coach, a mentor. Like, I'm here for it. If you want support with this is literally the work that I do. And I love it. It makes my soul sing. So you are safe, you are lovable, you're lovable in your most vulnerable expression because you are human. You are literally divine consciousness embodied, which divine consciousness, infinite divine intelligence, is literally unconditional love. Unconditional meaning there's no conditions on it. So regardless of what you've done, regardless of the fears, right? We're all human. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're still lovable through your mistakes. You're still lovable regardless of what you've done. It has no effect on your lovability. You are unconditionally and absolutely lovable and deserving and worthy of an amazing life exactly as you are, right? But until you can start to admit and practice being authentic and vulnerable with somebody else, you're gonna keep it to yourself, right? And that's what feeds the feelings of isolation, the feelings of like, I can't express myself, I can't be vulnerable. When you start to share with a trusted person who will love you and accept you, right? Through whatever it is that you need to share, through whatever vulnerability, through whatever authenticity you need to share. When you share it with a trusted person, you start to realize, yeah, you are still lovable, regardless of the flaws, of the imperfections. Tyler says vulnerability is the source of our greatest power, so expansive. Absolutely, right? When I started being honest with myself, with other people, about what I was experiencing, I started to feel fucking liberated and free, because for so long, you know, I've shared about my throat chakra journey, and it's a lifelong journey. It's probably something I'll always be going through, but I literally felt so stifled and like I could not speak and like I couldn't tell anybody what I was really feeling. And like, I should know better. Why am I feeling like this? Shaming myself. Oh, I'm so flawed and fucked up. Like, no, you're not. You're not flawed. There's nothing wrong with you, right? Learning how to practice loving yourself, forgiving yourself for being human, and working. It's a muscle, right? You work this muscle. You practice sharing and being vulnerable with people that you trust. Family members, therapists, coaches, mentors, right? So that's step 2. Step 3, because all of this eventually will translate to how you show up online for your business. I promise. Your business is an extension of you. It's an extension of the way that you show up in the world. So you learning how to show up in the world this way is really important for how you show up in your business. The third thing, I think this is where we bring in like an altruistic perspective, is for you to understand how your vulnerable experience and expression is actually useful to other people. And maybe it's even bigger than you. And maybe what you're going through is actually preparing you so that you can help other people move through it in the future. And you have no idea how divine intelligence is using you to actually support the collective evolution of humanity, to actually support the evolution of other human beings, right? We're all connected. There's only one of us here. We're all one, right? So you don't know how you're being used, and it's bigger than you. So for you to see and keep an open mind to how is your vulnerable, authentic expression actually going to be the thing that saves somebody else? How is it going to be the thing that actually helps somebody else in need? Because I believe whatever you're going through, we all go through things. Life is duality, right? It gets to be beautiful and amazing and vibrant and juicy and delicious. And at the same time, the nature of being a human is dual, right? There is some separation. There is some, there's a full spectrum of emotions. There's a full spectrum of experiences. And those get to be beautiful too when you can see that no matter what you're going through, divine intelligence is using you for your own evolution, for the evolution of other people. And maybe you being authentic and expressing your truth is going to be the thing that saves somebody else. And that's going to be the thing that you need in order to move your business, your movement, your leadership, your vision forward, is for you to be authentic and to speak your truth. Because you as a leader are here to inspire other people. You are here to move other people through your voice, through the things that you've been through. It's all divinely planned. It is all perfect and happening in perfect divine synchronicity. And you just have to trust it and practice being more open, and practice spiritual surrender, and practice being used by divine intelligence. Yes. So delicious. So delicious. I love it. All right. So that is my spiel for today. 3 things, to summarize for you to be more authentic in your business. Number 1 is being honest with yourself. Number 2 is practicing being vulnerable and honest with somebody that you trust. And number 3 is realizing and seeing how your vulnerable, authentic expression can actually serve and benefit other people. So thank you so much for watching this live. If you resonate with this is the work that I do in my containers. I do spiritual business coaching. So if you have a business, if you desire to start a business, if you desire to show up more authentically for your business online, I do have Divine Business Activator, which is my 3-month group program. Starting next month, I do have spaces opening in May. So if you resonate with this message, if you're ready to show up authentically, to really step into your leadership, to really make a big difference in the world, and to learn spiritual components and practical, grounded strategy as well for you to do this, for you to bring your work into the world, to bring it to life, Divine Business Activator is the place for you. So send me a message if you resonate with this or if you'd like to learn more about DBA. It's seriously such an amazing program. I've brought almost 30 people through at this point, and to see my clients step into their leadership, start their businesses, start receiving money, start working with clients from this program, because I do teach like a somewhat structured way to bring your business to life. That also involves leadership and authentic expression and feminine and masculine energetics. It's so fun and it works. So send me a message if this resonates. I want to hear from you. I want to know what landed with you, and if you're interested in learning more about DBA, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. So thank you so much for being here. Okay, that's all. That's all I have. All right. Ciao.